Let's introduce these, shall we? She made history after becoming Britain's oldest mother of quadruplets back in October. And 3 months on, 51-year-old Tracey Britten is finally settling to life as a full-time mum to 4 beautiful babies.
That's not all smooth sailing, of course. After first announcing her pregnancy, Tracey faced public backlash from critics who claimed that she was too old to become a mum again.
Well, Tracey joins us now alongside the very gorgeous Grace, Francesca, Fredrica and George. And welcome to you, and thank you for bringing them. I'm just looking... I mean, I am in awe. I don't know how you are doing this. What an amazing gift to have 4 babies. You had 3 children, didn't you, with your first husband?
Yeah.
And you split up in 2003, and that's when you met Stephen in 2005, and you married in 2012. I know, I'm telling your story. Did you talk about having children earlier on?
When we first met, yeah, he wanted kids, but I already had 3, so I wasn't so keen as he was.
Right.
Well, the 3 children you had before, they're all grown up now, so there was the thought. You did have the thought, well, if I have children, then my grandchildren will be older than my children.
Yeah.
So what was it that made you decide, right, OK, no, actually, I am going to go for it?
It was when I lost my other one, when I was about 38.
Right.
And then as soon as I got to 50, I don't know if I'd just had a midlife crisis or what, I thought I may as well just go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So, and sadly your mum had passed away, but she'd left you some money, and she always talked about that one day there might be twins in the family, or she would have loved to have seen twins in the family, and you felt that using that money that she'd left you to put towards IVF was a lovely thing to do in her honour, really. And so you started doing the injections yourself at home, and you went to Cyprus.
Yeah.
And you were lucky, because was this one round of IVF that you had?
Yeah, it was the one lot, and my mum did always want twins. My niece has got twins who came with me today.
Yeah.
Hers was natural, but she wanted one of her girls to have twins.
Yeah.
My niece is my brother's daughter.
Yeah.
And she wanted one of her girls to have twins, and I thought, what a better way than to use the money she left me and to give it a shot, hoping just to have the one, really.
Why Cyprus?
I did a lot of research, and I did go to some clinics in London, but to give me the better chance of having at least one abroad, they did, like, up to 4 embryos.
Yeah.
So I chose Cyprus.
And you didn't tell anyone you were going, really?
No.
I mean, you sort of kept it all quite quiet, and also when it came down to finding out that it was successful, and that you were pregnant, who did you take into your confidence then? Who did you say, oh, my God, it's happened, without obviously knowing initially how many?
Yeah, I took my daughter, my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, sure.
Just a little mini walk.
I took my daughter-in-law, to for something to eat for lunch one afternoon. I think I was about 6 weeks pregnant by then, and I told them, and we all got teary-eyed and hugged and everything else. And my daughter suggested I go for an early scan because I looked bigger than what, you know, you should do for 6 weeks.
And so it was at that scan that you then discovered what's
happening.
happening.
How did you feel? I mean, 4 babies at one go?
She saw 2 at first, and then she paused. She said, hold on a minute, have you had help with this pregnancy? So I said, yeah. Then she said, oh, there's twins. So my daughter, my husband, was more interested in to see if there was identical. So they was asking if there was identical, and she said, oh, hold on a minute, there's 3. So I got my breath a bit, and then she said, right, everybody needs to calm down. She put the fan on. She must have seen the 4th one.
Oh, my God.
And then told us there was 4.
And your mum, you know, you said your mum will be... The money you'd spent, your inheritance, she'd be doing if she'd known that... Because she wanted someone to have twins.
Yeah, yeah. And my niece, like I said, my niece has got twins, but she always wanted her girls to have twins, because my mum always wanted twins herself.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the practicalities of sort of with quadruplets, to carry them to term, and the success of having all 4 babies arrive safely, I mean, it's sort of a million in one chance of that happening, and you were advised to possibly just continue with 2 of the pregnancies, and that wasn't something that you wanted to do at all?
No, not really, because by this time I was like 7 weeks when I went for the private scan.
Yeah.
And then by 11 or 12 weeks, I went for another scan.
Yeah.
And that's when we was advised to reduce to 2. But by this time, we'd got, you know, we'd got into us that we're having 4.
Yeah.
So it wasn't such a shock, and it was more of a shock to get rid of 2.
Well,
Yeah,
the
of
news, I mean, yes, that's a horrible thing to think about. The news got out that you were, at the time, 50, and that you were expecting quadruplets. And the backlash was quite severe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did people say?
My daughter called me and she said, Mum, don't read the online comments. Well, the first thing you do is read them. So
do that.
I know. So I read a few of them and then I stopped reading them. They was just calling me a foreigner, you know, born and bred here. They was calling me a foreigner. I shouldn't be allowed to have kids here, and the NHS shouldn't be paying for it. Getting emotional now.
Yeah, I bet. Well, it's hurtful, especially when, you know, your hormone levels and you're carrying babies. It's a horrible time to hear something like that. You had them, didn't you? And I think it was 31 weeks. They were delivered by C-section. You had them early in the morning, I think, but you couldn't see them till much, much later because obviously they were so tiny.
Yeah, I had them from 10:03, 10:04, 10:05 and 10:07. And then they whisked them straight away. They took them off me straight away.
Oh, look at them there.
I know.
And they're all, I mean, you can see they're all dressed in Christmas stuff there because actually it was by Christmas you finally got your entire family home together. Because which one? It was one of the girls, wasn't it? I don't know which one I've got.
The one that Phillip's got.
Oh, she
Fredrica.
She was
I've
the
got
smallest.
Fredrica.
You've
Have
got Fredrica. She's the troublemaker as well.
She's
Well,
been
she's
very
been
good at the
very
moment,
good.
although I have to inform you that when you finish this chat, you do have a dirty nappy to cope with.
That's so funny.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, you
So
did
what's
that
it
on the
like?
telly,
What,
didn't
I mean,
you?
what is life like with quadruplets? I mean, you can't possibly be getting hardly any sleep.
The daytimes are all right, you know, but it's nighttime when they don't cry a lot, but they just stay awake and they whinge, and you feed him one, getting the wind up, and he's really hard to get his wind up.
Yeah.
God, he doesn't want to let go of it. Yeah, so...
Have you thought? I mean, you love them dearly, and I mean, this is such a lovely instant family. But have there been moments where you thought, "What have I done?"
I'd never regret it, but at night times when I've not slept, I think, oh my God.
When you're so tired.
Yeah. I mean, the other night I probably was lucky if I got an hour's sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about space? Are you gonna, as they get bigger, have you got space for them?
No, I'm gonna have to relocate somewhere.
Are you?
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've got 2 next to me cots, so I do 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So instead of putting them long ways, they're like sideways. Yeah, I'll need at least 4 bedrooms, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
you will. Well, they are gorgeous. Oh, she's finally gone to sleep now. There you go. Thank you so much for bringing them in.
That's OK.
Mine's
Really
going.
lovely to meet
Mine's
your
going.
family.
Mine's going.
Are they all going to
Mine's
sleep now?
going.
We're all going to go in a minute.